certainly a lot of concern in agriculture about weed resistance, herbicide challenges that started years ago, but it's been kind of a rough week with the dicamba ruling earlier this week, and now news that in Wright County, Iowa, water hemp resistant to 2,4-D has been found in a ditch, not in a cropping field. But what does that mean for not only the enlist system as we look to 2,4-D to be a major weed control component in the upcoming growing season? Eric Scherder, Corteva Agriscience, kind enough to join us here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. Beautiful cornfields out in the back, Eric. The beauty of virtual backgrounds here in the middle of winter in Iowa.
That's right. That's right. Especially with that warm weather in February. I joke that's what our corn crop looked like here in Iowa in February, as warm as it was.
Yeah, planting back in December when it was 40 degrees on Christmas, right?
It's been an interesting winter.
It certainly has been. So what's your reaction to the news here of this 2,4-D resistant water hemp in Wright County?
You know, Andy, resistance is nothing new in our business. It's unfortunate. We see it year after year, different modes of action. In this particular case, as you indicated, this was not found in the field where the grower had been utilizing enlist soybeans. In fact, they were doing the right things, using multiple modes of action pre, multiple modes of action post. But a lot of farmers, as we all know here in the state, either were mowing or were spraying the ditches, trying to keep the weeds down. Unfortunately, in that kind of environment, we just don't have as many tools. And when we select for one tool over and over, year after year, that's the good recipe for resistance. And the grower wasn't trying to develop resistance. I don't think any grower ever was trying to do that. But unfortunately, that was the outcome.
So no concern then about a list going forward this season at least. But what is the message, or I guess the key takeaway here?
Well, anytime you hear about resistance, especially in what I call a key driver weed, it should hopefully kind of get growers' attention in general, regardless of that mode of action. One of the things that we're really proud of at Corteva is that we started our enlist stewardship program 3 years before we ever launched a herbicide or trait. And we haven't deviated from that. And that is multiple modes of action pre, multiple modes of action post. And we know we have a very powerful tool with Enlist One and Enlist Duo, but we encourage every time to use multiple modes of action. We don't want to wear out this technology. As you indicated, we just heard the recent ruling on dicamba. That's a tool that growers have come to rely on. We don't have enough tools in the toolbox out here, so we've got to preserve those modes of actions that we do have to use today.
Yeah, you can speak to this probably better than most as well. And to your point about not having any tools in the toolbox, but it also maybe doesn't look like there's any new ones coming in the pipeline as well. I mean, 2,4-D is not a new herbicide, right? Now we figured out how to update it, but that's the challenge. It's not like you can just go out to the tree and pick off another mode of action or two for next growing season.
Well, and one thing here at Corteva Agriscience, we spend $4 million a day doing research. That's a lot of money. And we're trying to find that next mode of action, trying to help growers not only in fungicides, insecticides, but herbicides. And once we do find that herbicide, it takes a fair amount of time to get it registered. So, we started on this journey back in early 2000. It took us almost 14, 15 years to bring this to fruition for our growers. That next new product out there, it will take some time, whether it's from Corteva or a competitor. So that's why it's so important that we really, again, use all the tools out there. That's mechanical, cultural, herbicides, use all of them in conjunction to try to preserve those modes of action we have today.
Proper stewardship is important. So the basics of this, multiple modes of action, obviously, I would imagine rates are important as well. Correct. And scouting matters. Absolutely.
When you think about, I'm going to call it the basic weed science principles, that regardless, whatever farm you're farming, whatever crop you're farming, it's still relevant in that you've got to go out and really get the big picture. What are you trying to achieve with your weed control? Okay. And we got to think more than just 1 year. I know it's sometimes difficult with economies, with prices, and sometimes we've got to pinch back here and there, but an action that you take this year can have dire consequences for the next 2, 3, 20 years. Because once you develop resistance, there's no one going back. But we've got to scout before we're spraying and after we're spraying to make sure that that product worked well. It did what it was supposed to do. And if you have a concern on the field, talk to your local retail agronomist, talk to your local scouts, talk to other industry folks, and let's try to make sure that we can collect seeds like we did and try to see if you do have a truly resistance issue.
Absolutely. Talk to your local Corteva representative. Where can we find out more resources here, not only on the resistance issue, but also proper weed management?
You know, one great tool for us is enlist.com, where we have a ton of information out there, technical guides, product use guides, how to properly steward this product, or visit us at corteva.us. And again, all our products out there, proper stewardship's nothing new to us. We've been promoting that for many, many years. In fact, last year alone, the Enlist Field Specialist team talked to 27,000 growers all about stewardship and proper utilization of Enlist. So it's something that we continue to do each and every day.
Awesome. We appreciate it, Eric. As always, thanks a lot.
Absolutely.